Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episode is Excaliferb. So yeah, this episode was, as you can probably guess, Dragon aired as part of the time shift weekend I previously discussed. This is one of the episodes that aired during that promotion that they did. Even though technically it's less of a time shift and more of an alternate universe, like fantasy retelling, like story within a story kind of thing, but it still fits. And there's still one episode to come that aired during that. So we'll get to that later. So, Dragon, what are your thoughts on Excaliferb?
Well, so it very much feels like a salute to Princess Bride and Arthurian lore.
With a little bit of Lord of the Rings thrown in.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
So it feels like a warm up for a lot of the stuff to come. I mean, this combined with appropriately, kind of our Wizard of Oz themed episode we had a while back. So this feels on brand. Feels like we're building to kind of the full on kind of parody, genre parody retellings of things like Star Wars, for example.
Yep.
So this is this is a good one. I like it. There's I'm not a diehard fantasy guy, so I'm always on the fringes with fantasy. But I do appreciate it. I think given the circumstances, I think they had a lot of fun with it, and it shows. And I love the framing device. So
I mean, the framing device is totally Princess Bride, but
well, yeah,
but yeah, it's like we have a couple. We already have a couple comments. If Kogia saying, "Carl, I'm sick. You how can I keep by going away? I need to be your intern." Dang it, Carl. This is my favorite episode of the Time Shift Trio. It isn't even close. Well, there you go. Ferb looks like he's trying to be He-Man. By the power of Grayskull. Dead silence. And apparently Code Geass has not seen The Princess Bride.
Pity.
Yep. It's on Disney Plus now.
Well, yeah.
Like, we got first look at a doof for Boogie, but its actual person is doof, no mask. Dragon, I guess that image you sent me earlier was actually from the Halloween batch.
Yeah, that's what I've been picking up. When you said Halloween, I looked at, oh my god, he's right, that probably is for the Halloween thing.
It's like, yeah, it is pretty terrifying, actually.
It's scary beyond reason.
Yeah. You mean terrifying beyond all reason.
It's terrifying beyond all reason, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, legitimately, it's pretty. I mean, I respect what they're going for, but it's still like, man, they really should have thought that one through, like how that one would translate.
I mean, the thing is, there are actual Doofenshmirtz costumes out there.
Well, yeah,
and so,
but usually they have fake heads, right?
Yeah, usually they do. Like, it's actual, like they actually have like his head and everything. Like, it's a separate costume.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe they did it for visual purposes. I don't know, Dragon.
Well, they wanted to have an actual guy ham it up, and to do that, he needs to be human. But the problem is, Doofenshmirtz's head, cartoon filtered through like a live action vein. Some things were not meant to be seen by mortal men.
It's like, well, Dan's where he's just himself in a lab coat is kind of better.
That's the thing. I mean, if Dan shaved, he'd be perfect.
Well, Dan, they should have got Dan to do it.
I gotta be honest, just for a moment, not legitimately, for a moment, I did ponder. I wonder, could that be
Yeah, it's
Could
not
that be
there.
No, but doesn't it make you wonder though? What would it have been like if Poppemeier did it?
Like he's probably too busy to do that. I mean,
Wouldn't it be sad if it's like, hey Dan, listen, we're the Disney company. We're gonna need you to do us a solid here. We want to promote the show. You want more renewals? You scratch our back, we'll scratch your back. So just come to the park. Just for a season, all right? Just one, just land, okay? Just come to land. We know you like it. Just come here, and
it's like,
we'll
and to
dress
think,
you up.
and to think there's a pretty good Doofmas for the tour for the touring show. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, people said they wanted to see Dan do it. That would be
Well, of
great.
course.
It would be a surprise. It'd be kind of a pretty neat surprise if he like went there one night and actually was him.
Yeah.
It's like all right. We shouldn't devote too much of the time to this, but yeah, maybe when it's actually closer to
Well,
Halloween.
it's very serendipitous, though.
It is, yeah. All right. So shall we get into it then?
Let's do it.
All right. So Major Monogram is sick in bed.
He's sick of Carl.
And who should come to help him get through it but Carl?
He's got a terminal case of Carl.
Yes.
So, yeah, I love
Carl's both the disease and the cure.
Yep. So I love the Princess Bride setup here of Carl reading the Major Monogram. Of course, the main reason I like this, it's been a time-tested formula that people love. The Princess Bride framing device, a la Deadpool. Once upon a Deadpool.
Still not as good as Deadpool 2, but
No, it's true. It's a lot of fun, though.
It is a lot of. I never actually got to see it. Actually,
I think my favorite part of Once Upon a Deadpool is when Fred Savage is making a lot of fanboy points to Deadpool, like which basically is kind of like it's like looking like some of the missed opportunities in Deadpool 2. He's basically pointing out, like, wait a minute, so you were ripped in half? Doesn't that mean there could be like another Deadpool walking around? It's just, which in the comics did happen. Evil Deadpool. Which, yes, is intended to be a reference to that, yes.
And
like Evil Ash from,
I never actually got to see it Once Upon a Deadpool. And it's not available to stream anywhere.
Yeah, it was very much kind of a let's put it back in theaters kind of deal, but
Yeah, and Marvel Studios went forward with rated R Deadpool anyway.
The frustrating thing with Deadpool 2 is that Deadpool 2 has like those 3 cuts, and each cut has something really good that you kind of wish you could mix and match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like I said, Marvel Studios decided to keep Deadpool R-rated anyway, so
it all worked out. But again, it's the time-tested thing that everyone always looked at me like I was an eye chart. Says, Deadpool can survive as PG-13 because what's the worst they're going to do? They're just going to bleep him, which I mean, it's just make into a joke, which is what the comics did. Everyone forgets, like, oh no, Deadpool last year. Yes, he was R-rated, but remember, Joe Kelly is the one who made him R-rated, and the way he made him R-rated in that comic, he censored the swears in hysteric and hilarious ways.
Yep, and technically, PG-13 films are allowed at least one F-bomb.
That is true.
So technically, hence Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go.
Volume 3.
That movie opened effing doors for as far as the F-bomb goes for the MCU.
Yep, that it did. All right, logistics and F-bombs and movies aside. So you like the
only F-bomb we like to talk about around here?
It's
Ferb.
It's Ferb. The real F-bomb.
Mother Ferb?
Yes. Anyway.
All right, so I'm sick, Carl, of you.
So Carl reads him a fantasy story of wizards and knights.
Will there be water sprites in it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Wouldn't it, although actually it's like are there like wood sprites in there? It's like there are water sprites. Go ahead.
It would be so funny if one, the way he says "go ahead" does remind me a little bit of like Peter Griffin from early Family Guy. Like, go on.
Perhaps.
Exactly, like the whole perhaps or go on. Let's see. I can't help but imagine. Imagine if just one day in the writer's room,
Yeah.
Swampy falls ill, and who's there to cheer him up? It's his old pal, Poffenmeyer, just going to read to him and like pitch him the episodes and everything, and like help him do storyboards, like pitch to him just while he's in bed.
It's like, Dad, I'm sick.
It's like, Dad, I'm just really sick. Oh, come on, you have a show to do, man. On with the show. Come on, just wear the fake mustache. I don't want to wear the fake mustache. Just come on, just wear the fake mustache just to help us. We'll get a good rhythm going.
Dad, please get out of my house.
But you can't get out of bed, so why would I do that?
We're painting these people out to be crazy.
Well, at least give me my sandwich. What sandwich? I saw that, Dan. Look, when we get past the first set of cards that are on the bulletin board, then I'll order you a sandwich, okay? What about water? Just at least let's start the process, and then we'll get you some water. But I need fluids. Like the lifeblood of the show, the blood of the show. That's your fluid, my friend. Let's just press on.
We're
gonna need the recast major monogram.
Oh God. All right. Not to cut down your fun, I get a move on.
All right. Okay, so King Arthur stuff moving on. All right. No.
Yeah. So Phineas and Ferb a lot. Good names there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're testing instead of like making crazy things, they're making elixirs that change them into different creatures.
Yep.
Like different fantasy creatures such as like a manticore, a cockatrice, other things.
Okay, admittedly, Phineas turning himself into a minotaur.
A minotaur, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's one of the many things he turned himself into. When he turns into the minotaur specifically, rather unsettling.
I mean, more unsettling than Ferb as a gorgon.
Honestly, yes. It's just a gorgon with green hair. Okay, the minotaur actually looks like Phineas, and it's like this weird hybrid. Phineas already has an image problem. It's like an image. It has like an image problem where it's like already just in still form, there's something unsettling there. Where now, just seeing him talking as the Minotaur with the Phineas features, it just feels off.
Well, let's just say in an upcoming scene, he definitely has another kind of image issue.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but we'll get to that.
All right.
It's like so. It's like their sister Candevere does not approve of it.
Candevere, she abandons the old Shakespeare in the Park talk.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't talk like this anymore.
Yep.
And the writers probably got tired of writing it that way too.
Oh, of course. Who can blame them? I can barely read Shakespeare. I don't blame them.
It's like, I was hoping for more Centaur Phineas, says Aquatad.
I hate the fact they have to, like, every time you see Shakespeare's such a great writer. The problem is, like, the ye old English killed the longevity of his work. And until those guys came around and did that awesome play about, I forget what the name of the play is, but you know what I mean. Like those guys who did recapped all the Shakespeare.
The complete works of William Shakespeare abridged or something like that.
I think that's it, but I'm not sure. I think that.
And two things, Dragon. Keep in mind that was like the normal way of speaking back in Shakespeare.
I know it was the normal way of speaking back then, but I'm saying that all the time they could have adapted it. They could have done like a version, not counting the awesome abridged version. They could have done a version that's basically translated.
Okay, two more things. One, No Fear Shakespeare Exists basically does translate into modern language. And also, the plays are meant to be watched, not read anyway.
Well, no, okay, read and or just the way it is performed is, and when they read it and they perform it, it's still just like
the thing is, it's not necessarily intended to be read and like as a general audience or anything like that. It's meant to be watched by the general audience.
But yeah, I'm saying even if it's watched by the general audience, though, wouldn't it be nice if they could understand what they're saying without having to pull like okay, wait a minute, so that's what they mean.
Honestly, Dragon, if you look up a lot of like A lot of the stuff in Shakespeare's time, a lot of the stuff that he wrote was actually like full of innuendos and dirty humor.
That's what I'm saying. Couldn't we do something that's like a lot more artful in the delivery where people can actually get it? Because every time when you go to a Shakespeare play, what you're getting from it is like, okay, it's the intensity of the actors and what they're conveying. It doesn't matter what they're saying. I get that. But you know what? There's actually some clever stuff there. When you take them in, you break out, like the coder, and you kind of figure out what the heck they're saying.
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff's for enthusiasts anyway, who already know what the stuff means. So there's that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Shakespeare's dying with the general audience these days. I feel. I don't know. It feels like,
which is a shame because they're great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's great. It's just I'm saying. Like, I wish more. It's kind of hard to. The storytelling in the Shakespeare stuff's great, and that stood the test of time. But it's like, really, like the closest we're gonna get is it's like we get Romeo plus Juliet, and it's still like ye old talk. But it's like it's like in the modern day, that's as close as we're gonna get, really.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so they're noticing the ungodly or unearthly amount of rain, technically, as they said in the show, and they're visited by the Lady of the Puddle.
love the Lady of the Puddle.
And we all know why, Dragon.
Vanessa.
Yes. She's the daughter of the Lady of the Lake.
And of course, during all this, we're hearing Ferb just like he's having like a little inner monologue here of raindrops keep falling on my head. He's having the whole Burt Bacharach kind of doing a montage.
Oh yeah, it's like I talked about image issues earlier, Dragon.
Yes,
and how a couple episodes ago I brought up an error that I discovered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is an error. This is not an error that I discovered. This is one that's been known for quite a long time, but this might become a recurring thing if I talk about like interesting errors that happen on the show. But during a single frame of Phineas and Ferb talking to the Lady of the Puddle, this happens.
God. See, I had a different issue with this. Here's the I didn't catch this, but I did. I had to go on.
I mean, it literally goes by like a single frame.
That's what I'm saying. I had an issue with this part, but not. I didn't notice like the blink of an eye, lack of blink of an eye.
Like Phineas literally loses his eyes for a second, for like less than like a frame of animation, loses his eyes.
My eyes.
Yep.
Ferb. He's just feeling around. Okay, there's the big eye. There's the little eye. Ferb, there you are. Oh, thank God. I got so frightened.
Like, yep.
The issue I have in that scene is, man, Phineas he's so chatty in that scene. Like, Phineas, shut up a little, would you? He's just like, he's over explaining the whole like it's the lady of the puddles, but she said, he's really expositing things there. And I know it's the joke I'm gonna say, it's what's going through my head during that scene. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
But I'm sure I can guarantee you didn't see the missing eyes.
I was distracted by the whole like Phineas. Just let her go through the spiel. All right, we get it. You're ruining the Arthurian lore here, man.
It's like, so if I find any more like errors that I could document, that might become a recurring thing on this show.
Yep.
All right, if you're interested in it anyway.
Sure. So we learned what was the Lady of the Puddle, not the lake, but the puddle. Tell them.
That they must go on a legendary quest to find the sword Excaliferb and use it to defeat the evil sorcerer Malifishmertz.
Okay, admittedly, that's really easy. Just the fact that it's like Excaliferb.
Yeah, it's like he was destined for it.
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah. I mean, remember, it is like a story within a story kind of thing, so it's to be forgiven.
That is true.
So it's like it's like, and of course Malifishmertz.
Yeah, so you can definitely see. I'm thinking like Maleficent's gonna sue this episode.
Like, they're both owned by the same company, so.
But still, I mean, Maleficent, probably should have been. It's kind of a breach of contract, if anything.
It's parody. It falls under fair use.
Yeah, tell that to the dragon lady, man. I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. I'm not her lawyer.
Oh, brief random aside.
Yes.
It's Disney related, so you know.
Okay.
Did you see? Did you
Tangentially related.
did you
All right.
see Donald Duck on Hot Ones?
I didn't see the full episode, but I saw the clips.
It was like 7 minutes.
Like I saw some of the clips on it, and then I like the touch that it was cauliflower wings.
Yeah, but it would have been really impressive if they just let it be. Just let it be wings.
Yep. Like I said, it's a nice touch that it was cauliflower, though.
But anyway,
Like,
I bring it up because the hot sauces were I think with one exception they were Disney villain themed, and one of them was Maleficent.
which one was like the hottest?
The hottest was Hades.
That makes sense.
It was okay, it's like hot. It was something like hotter than Hades or something. It was like something that was something close. It wasn't hotter than Hades, but it was something tantamount to like a saying. Like they all had like pun names on the labels. Maleficent was the first really hot one though. Maleficent was like, oh boy, Donald's in trouble now.
It's like was like what are villains like? Was there like Jafar,
No,
Ursula?
no, Jafar didn't get one. Ursula didn't get
Ah,
one.
that's too bad.
I mean, I don't. Chernobog got one though. I think.
I mean, that makes sense too. I mean,
I think.
if you have one if you have Hades, you might as well have Chernobog.
See, Hades, Chernobog, Maleficent. God, I'm trying to. Maybe Ursula did get one. I don't know, but I'm trying to remember. Like there was a softball one at the start. I forget who the softball was.
Yeah, but really no Jafar.
No, there. I really don't think there was Jafar, but I know there was like one non-villain, so that makes me pretty sure that Jafar didn't make the cut.
Oh, that's too bad. Then.
Like had they had a villain, I think Jafar would have made it, but I'm just blanking on who that one was. And Ursula might have been the first one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I need
Ursula
to,
might have been the softball, but I can't recall.
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
I haven't checked out Hot Ones in a long time, but
No, I mean, I've seen it. I check out Hot Ones from time to time. Like they had Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman on.
all right.
The best one you gotta watch. I'm sorry, we can get back to the episode here. The one you gotta watch, the insane one. This is like one of their, I guess, I forget they keep doing it by season, but their big season finale one year was Conan.
Huh.
Conan's was hysterical because Conan could actually take the heat, and he was like mocking it. He was like, "Oh, he was so cocky. It was awesome."
And did he actually make it through the entirety?
Oh, they all make it through the entire. It's the gag. And I don't think anyone's not made it through the entire. At least as far as I've seen, probably somebody who didn't make it through.
I mean, did he eventually like cave into the heat?
Well, that I don't want to give it away.
All right. So yeah. Speaking of like Malifishmertz and all that,
Malifishmertz.
like, what do you think of his jingle?
It was great, but I have no idea how to repeat it.
Like Malifishmertz Evil Incorporated, but not really a corporation because corporations haven't been invented yet. So it's more like a guild or a tradesman association.
See, I meant to write that down, but I was I wasn't able to.
I have it memorized.
There you go.
Want me to do it again?
Might as well. Okay, so we go to
Malifishmertz Evil Incorporated, but not really a corporation because corporations haven't been invented yet. So it's more like a guild or a tradesman association.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, so Malifishmertz.
And of course, well, before we do that, we do see Monopunzel with the long mustache.
Yep.
Hope we see more of him.
So it would have been infinitely funnier if the king and Rapunzel actually looked like that. Well, if the king entangled actually looked like that.
Yeah, it would be funny. Anyway, have you actually seen the Tangled series?
You know, I swear I keep meaning to. I watched the first episode long ago, but I got sidetracked, and I was meant to go back to it, but I did not. From what I've seen, it looked good, and it sounded. I like the art style. It seems like they're applying story to it. So yeah,
it's actually pretty good, and the king's voiced by Clancy Brown. So
well, that I do know. That I remember from the first episode. It was one of the big. Like, oh my god, we have do a dance for the Clarence. There he is. There's the man.
The King Clans.
Yeah, give that man a crown.
But yeah. So Parable the Dragon Puss, that's the name of the dragon, by the way.
Yep.
Parable. It's like the lines of
He
Malifishmertz.
wears a Robin Hood hat, by the way.
Yep. Which is nice, which is a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
And he arrives at the Malifishmertz's castle and is captured by the Lawn Norm.
Okay, I love the lawn norm. I like that. It's like it kind of connects the down the line to sources of history of lawn gnomes. That's great.
Yep. And we never actually, and his story is muffled, so we never actually learn why he wants to take over the Tri-Kingdom area.
Yep, of course the spiral staircase gag.
Yep. It's like, and even it's like, it's what I said because I had a gag over my mouth.
I love that joke. That's good.
Yep. And
All right, so the big plan is
canned meat.
So the canned meat thing reminds me of a few things. One of them, at least Pavmeyer adjacent.
Yeah.
He probably didn't work on this episode, but he worked on the show. Reminds me a lot of Hey Arnold with Cham.
Cham.
You remember Cham, don't you?
No.
Oh, Jacob, the Cham. Oh, that's Phil took. Okay, that's the better.
Sorry, Dragon. I don't have a lot of memory of Hey Arnold.
Okay, look. There's an episode of Hey Arnold's a holiday episode. It's veterans. It's the Veterans Day episode, and we have the wartime experience of Gerald's father and Phil. Now, Phil, he was there during World War II, and initially he comes up with this fanciful kind of like Arnold's grandpa taking on Hitler, which is awesome.
Kind of Captain America-esque.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And then we have the actual story, which is wonderfully mundane but awesome, where Phil is basically transporting, Cham, which Dan Castellano, the way he does this is great. Just the way he basically lays it, he almost like a little fine print in the infomercial, kind of like correction, like. You mean spam? No, not spam. Spam's like yada 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 yada. This is Cham, which basically Cham is like the Diet Coke discount, kind of off-brand version of spam, which spam's already like the off-the-shelf version of meat. So that's going down. Anyway, so basically, long story short, Phil took out a band of Nazis with bad meat, aka Cham.
So it's basically spam version of spam.
There you go. It's the spam of spam. It's spam. It's spam deluxe. It's double the spam, all the jam.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Oh, it's not good. Again, so it's a little bit of that. Also, you're gonna appreciate this, Mr. Bratwurst. A little bit of yoga hosers.
Okay.
Kevin Smith's movie Yoga Hosers, the threat is a very Gremlins-esque kind of like army of bratwurst. Yep, and basically, yeah, so it's
I like spum.
Spum. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's so basically Yoga an army of like living bratwursts, which are basically Kevin Smith dressed like like a monster version of like a sausage, essentially of a bratwurst, kind of like shrunken down in Nazi garb or Nazi, basically kind of what the equivalent of a Canadian Nazi would be.
And this is in Yoga Hosers?
This is in Yoga Hosers, so the whole idea of like an army of sentient meat products of some kind. It's especially when they're little. When they're little, it's exactly like Yoga Hosers. When they get huge, it's something else. But
it's like, what do you know? This episode predicted Yoga Hosers.
Yep. Which again, like in some senses, saved Kevin Smith's life when he was on the table. I can't go out having Yoga Hosers as my last movie.
It's like, yeah, even the Muppets brought that up.
That is true.
Of all things to reference during Kevin Smith's cameo in Muppets Mayhem, it's like, and whatever Yoga Hosers was.
So my favorite part of that series was when Kevin Smith showed up. I loved it so much.
And that's saying something considering how many cameos there are in that show.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of musicians, famous musicians, and all that, and the other things too. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
So back to the that's a show that they should have gotten a season 2 for.
that is true. Well, right now they're talking about giving all sorts of other shows season 2, so I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Well, they're also canceling a lot of other ones too.
Well, then never mind.
So there's that. So
that's called it's called a push, kids.
give us more Muppets.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's basically Deuce's plan is to basically create sentient canned meat. The problem though, they're very small and not rampagey enough.
No.
So his goal is to create a whole bunch of them, send them out into the rain, and have them absorb the meat and become stronger.
Yeah.
So basically, this is basically what Doofenshmirtz.
It's an add water plan.
Yep. So this is basically Doofenshmirtz if he had access to magic powers.
Which you can see how well he would utilize those magic powers. Which is like, I'm gonna do several things. I needed to like add a step versus just have it be like a giant meat army at first.
Yes. Even though we literally see him turn into a giant dragon later.
Yeah.
So clearly he's like a fan of complicating things.
Well, yeah.
Even to like, my therapist was right. I do overcomplicate things. So basically, after that though, the water sprite Isabel takes Phineas and Ferb out to the Inn of the Prancing Platypus.
But they have taco salad.
Apparently, they have very good taco salad.
Yes.
Do you like taco salad?
No.
You don't like tacos?
I'm a picky eater. Don't field me food.
Okay, I'm just wondering if you didn't like if you like tacos.
Nah, well, I'm just not a taco. I'm not. Believe me, I wish I were, but I'm not. I'm not a taco guy.
All right, because I really love tacos.
Well, I respect the taco, though. I respect the construction of the taco.
I mean, I'm more of a soft taco guy myself, a burrito kind of guy.
Well, I don't know if the burrito really counts like a soft taco. A soft taco is just basically it's essentially what they're eating. It's a rudimentary taco salad.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do like taco salad. I like taco salad with Doritos. But yeah, I like tacos.
Yeah.
Nature's perfect food. It has all the parts of the food pyramid.
Wrong, sir. The naco is nature's perfect food.
All right, you got me. The naco, right?
Yep. Nacho meets taco meets delicious.
Oh yeah. And it's also meets royalties because you get rich.
Yeah, $99 million.
And you spend it all in just a short amount of time.
God.
Oh God.
Oh, he was such an idiot.
Yep. I'm surprised he didn't get like a steady stream of royalties because that's how royalties actually work. But
that is true. Maybe I think it accumulated though.
But it's a cartoon, so who cares?
I mean, I think headcanon wise would be like after he spent the $99 million, which in hindsight, you gotta wonder. What the royalties thing is. Okay, like is he getting is it every time that he buys the naco, does he actually kind of reinvest it in a sense? That's the vibe that I got because no one else is getting the naco.
Well, we don't know who else is getting the naco.
No one else is getting. What do you mean? No one else is getting the naco.
Well, we don't that we see. Clearly enough for them to willing to give him $99 million.
I swear, I still think the way he's getting that is because he's the only one who keeps getting. So every time like a naco is sold, it's like he's getting some. I like to think somehow that's how that.
Well, then again, there's the same company that sold there's the same people that sold their company to Dragon, so there's that.
That is true.
Somehow he was able to acquire Bueno Nacho.
I think the logical thing is it probably is like a lump sum payment too. It might be like a back tax sort of thing where it's like it's like Lucas. It's like sort of selling the rights to it essentially.
All right, fair enough.
So Lucas can't get any money. From what I understand, Lucas can't get money off of Star Wars like in perpetuity now. Like since the moment he sold it, he isn't getting anything from it now.
But then again, he got like $4 billion, so there's that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't need money. I'm just saying that that's why he's not getting any more. So we'll give you $4 billion. Just let us have it.
And now we've made Aquatat hungry. Trust me, we love talking about food on this channel. We're supposed.
Well, if you want to stop that, just think about eating spum. There you go.
Well, what about like powdered toast or?
Oh, that'd be canned bread.
Canned bread. They have it. Canned bread. And apparently that's a real thing.
I know, right? It's crazy. I think it's Canadian.
I was like I'm gonna quote it. I'm gonna have a quote, Dragon. Canadians are weird.
Now you gotta buy him a jawbreaker.
Yeah, it was like the Dragon. The funny thing is, the entire show was made by Canadians.
Well, yeah. Also, the Canadian squirt gun.
Yep, that's from the same episode.
So much Canada.
Like that's from the same episode. Oh,
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get a move on.
All right.
We haven't even gotten past part 1 yet.
See, right now, I know just mentioning Canada. Laser is just he's like stirring up that Tom Selleck gag from that something dark side, where he's just looking up like someone's mentioned Canada.
One of my friends is married to a Canadian. So
I'm sorry.
Hey, she's actually very nice.
Yes, Jacob, but she's Canadian.
All right, Dragon, let's get back on topic, shall we?
Oh no, come on, Canada's great.
Yeah, we love Canada here.
We do love Canada. We tolerate laser. We love Canada.
Yes, he's a. So at the end of the prancing platypus, I can't believe we got to the subject of Canada from when we were talking about tacos. How did that happen?
It's an unfocused show.
Yes, it is.
All right.
The end of the prancing platypus. That's hard to say. They meet Buphobolus and Balgidolus.
Yeah.
And they join them on their journey to defeat Malifishmertz.
Yeah.
And so,
okay, now here's something. Here's one that I caught. Okay, with Phineas having like the weird freeze frame kind of thing.
Yeah.
Phineas, he looks so bored when they say let's go off and like stop Malifishmertz, or when he's like going, there's echoing like yeah. He looks so bored, like when Beaver's like yeah, let's go along the journey. He just looks so bored.
Well, it's probably the banjo that's playing Dragon.
That's the thing. I know the banjo is just completely. But did anyone else look bored?
I guess not. Maybe Phineas just doesn't like the banjo.
That's the thing. He does. It's the moment the banjo starts. He's just. That's the thing. No one else is bored, though.
I don't know.
If they were all bored, that's a joke. If just he's bored, he's going off script.
I don't know, Dragon. I don't know if it's an error. He's just like unfazed by the situation at hand.
No, that's not unfazed. That's disinterested, Jacob.
All right.
Anyway, so they go to.
So what do you actually think of the banjo thing?
I mean, it was fun. It's kind of calling out the fantasy music genre gag. And I love like Monogram saying, "Yes, but a little less sarcasm, Carl."
That's like talking about the whole, like with the whole banjo, like where are they going, Alabama? Which do you know what? I think I might be a bit reaching here, but Dan's from Alabama. So I'm wondering if that's like an intentional reference.
Well, probably. Are you sure he's from Alabama?
Yep, Mobile, Alabama.
Well, then why would he mention Alabama?
Like I said, I don't know if it was an intentional.
You don't just randomly pull Alabama. Like no one randomly pulls Alabama. Alabama is like the only reason you would pull Alabama is like something adjacent to Forrest Gump. That's the most iconic use of Alabama ever.
Fair enough. I mean,
It was like him yelling, she wants to go home in Alabama. And he's yelling Alabama to the guy.
it's I mean, look how many times Ohio's brought up in all these places.
Like I said, Ohio, that's a legitimate pull, though. Okay, Ohio's like Ohio, Ohio's in the lexicon. Alabama, no sir.
Oh yeah, Dragon, Alabama's totally not famous for anything.
I'm not saying he's not famous. I'm saying it's no one pulls Alabama. Unless it's something very specific.
I mean, a lot of the Marvel movies are shot in Alabama. No, Georgia. They're shot in Georgia, so I'm mistaken.
Yeah, shot in Georgia. They're Atlanta, Georgia. That doesn't count.
I know. I got mixed up for a second, but it's Alabama adjacent. Dragon, I think we just went down to one view. I think I'll talk about Alabama scared people away.
It's not like we're saying anything bad about Alabama.
It's nobody pulls Alabama.
Yeah, it's like no one. Seriously, no one does. It's a fact. It's not an insult. It's a fact. Name me one other iconic, like a regular. We usually pull Alabama out of left field, like Alabama. Well, no one does that. It's like, okay, we're using Alabama because one of our showrunners is from Alabama.
And I don't know where Swampy's from.
Probably from the swamp.
Speaking of which, that is actually so yeah.
Yep.
So they come.
See, everyone's bored like Phineas, and they all went home.
It's so the gang arrives to the bridge. The comprehension guarded by a bridge troll.
This is voiced by Danny DeVito saying, "You gotta pay the troll toll." No, it didn't happen.
It's actually the return of Professor Poofenplotz.
Not great.
But yeah, she's proven to be incompetent even here because the river that she built it over is just a little creek.
I like the creek gag. I'm just saying that of all the characters we could have put in there, I don't know. She feels a little, really we're pulling her.
I mean, who else would you have brought in for the role of the bridge troll?
Animated you.
Irving?
Possibly. I'm just throwing out. It's not my go-to, but I'm just saying if I'm pressed, maybe Irving.
All right, I guess that could have worked.
I could see him being semantical. You gotta pay the toll. Like, we just walk past. He can't stop us.
That would have been funny, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best gag, but maybe.
All right, so they just walk past and completely ignore the bridge troll.
Yeah.
But then they come across a gorge. It's this is where she should have built a bridge.
That's a good joke.
Yep. And of course, they then get confronted by angry meat.
Yes.
Yeah. But so Isabel tells them to jump down the bridge because she has a plan. And of course, one of my favorite lines in this is Bufalus, my mother told me that other people are jumping off a cliff, I should follow them. It's your mother said that? She was not a nurturer.
Hey Jacob, do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Dragon. It's
Gritty Reboot Time! They're really excited.
Yeah, for some reason StreamYard always puts them on loop by default. Oh, there you go.
All right. So, had the episode been 11 minutes,
this is where it would have ended.
Yeah, basically, the sprite either. Here's the thing: the sprite either going down with the ship, basically, you know what? We've gone as far as we can go in this journey. Let's just end it now. Let's end the hardship now, and just basically talks them all into kind of unknowingly, basically, commit kind of the Harry Carey with a long drop. Now, on the flip side, though, you could see as oh man, the sprite was the villain all along. Forget Malifishmertz, just like let's jump, and there's like, oh yeah, I can fly, ha ha ha. What you doing? Falling.
Oh.
Good luck with it.
And then he informs he was working for Malifishmertz the whole time.
Exactly. Bum bum bum.
Plot twist.
Anyway, so back to the episode.
Yep. So back to the episode in which Carl takes a break to stop the story.
To make a sandwich.
His wife had made 2 sandwiches, but Carl ate it. Carl ate the one meant for Monogram.
Of course, the thing that was screaming through my mind during this was Gutierrez like, enough about the sandwich.
I know that's a reference to something.
Yeah, Freakazoid.
Kind of figured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Gutierrez, like Freakazoid gives Freakazoid a sandwich. It's like a pleasantry, and he just won't shut up about the sandwich. Like, this is a really good sandwich. He's just saying, like, is that like what kind of tomatoes are these? Like, enough about the sandwich. It's just the sandwich already. I just want to talk a little bit more about the sandwich. Oh, Freakazoid, you drive me crazy.
Again, getting Ricardo Montalban to say the most ridiculous lines.
Just hearing Ricardo Montalban, the two of the best Ricardo Montalban absurd lines in Freakazoid. It's enough about the sandwich already. And him saying, don't say it a weenie word. The funniest thing, dear God, just him saying, he hates being called a weenie. Don't say a weenie word.
but there's like Ricardo Montalban.
Of course,
don't say the weenie word.
Honestly, the best again in the sandwich episode. It's called Hero Boy. It's in season 2.
Oh my God.
My all-time favorite episodes. I forget, maybe nominated for the daytime Emmy. I don't recall, but in that episode, you had Ricardo Montalban as Gutierrez. They had this random aside where basically before Freakazoid gets killed, he's in the death trap. He shows him like Gutierrez, like a clip show. He shows him like a number of like old timey, like royalty free, just kind of like old film clips. And it's just Ricardo Montalban like narrating over like a silent movie slideshow, and it's hysterical. like it's just him and Freakazoid like. What do you see, my friends? It's a duck. No, my friends. Yeah, it's just a duck. Like, no, it's 2 guys in a duck suit.
Oh God!
Yeah, look! One more. It's like, look, there's a man kissing his wife, and oh, look at him kissing his wife, and she's loving. He goes to take a phone call. Oh, look, there's a monkey, and the monkey's kissing the lady.
Oh God!
Again, it's absurd and hysterical.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see. Freakazoid.
Oh, I love it.
It always finds a way to creep its way into this show.
Yes.
Not that I have a problem with that, obviously.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, also occasionally Seinfeld creeps into this show too.
Yes.
A lot of these conversations we have end up being kind of Seinfeldian in a way.
Yep.
Seinfeldian?
Yeah, Seinfeldian. Yeah, that's the.
Whatever. You know what I mean. Right?
Yep.
Like, platypus, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sign
right.
people. You know what I mean.
Yes. So anyways, like, Monogram's upset that Carl ate a sandwich.
Ate his sandwich, or to put in friends' terms, my sandwich.
Oh, that was the birth of that was Monogram's origin villain story.
Yep, that's why he puts Carl in such horrible situations. He put him in the Inspector Gadget position, but he's gonna have to do the meet and greets. He's gonna have to give Perry the Platypus, self-destruct paper.
Oh God.
He's gonna Quimby him.
I still need to watch the original cartoon.
Yes.
I've never seen the original cartoon.
It wouldn't hurt.
I know. I've watched the intro a couple times, and
Well, of course, everyone's seen the intro. Come on, man.
It's a great intro. What can I say?
Yes, that's why everyone's seen the intro.
I said it's great.
He cuffs a separated arm.
And then it blows up.
He's upside down. He's the eye in the logo.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep, that he is. It's like so the water Isabel and the water sprites create a water slide, and they save the gang.
Yep.
So, and then they come across the swamp. You know, the swamp of spit poor attitudes, or as they call it, the swampy marsh.
A swamp full of middle-aged writers.
Yeah, as long as they're funny, right?
Well, that's true.
Yep, and they are funny. So they must have a positive. They must have a positive attitude to pass. Phineas goes, and Bufavulus will not go. Balgitos tries to convince Bufavulus to cross by using logic, which falls on deaf ears.
This was really good writing here about the whole logic thing. Phineas has pie.
Like, I'm coming.
Same trick would have worked wonders on Hugh Neutron.
Yeah. It's like I will live.
Endless pie.
Endless pie. Hugh Neutron's a blessing.
That he is. Reminds me of my father.
Endless pie.
Not the pie part, but yes.
Oh my! And oh god, that's another show I need to rewatch again.
Yeah.
That show didn't get enough recognition in its heyday. I mean, it got 3 seasons, but still.
Well, and in a movie.
And
Honestly, a couple movies that count the TV movies and crossovers. It got around, Jacob. It got around.
But it also didn't overstay its welcome.
There you go.
And unless you count Planet Sheen, which we don't count as the original series anyway.
No, we're not. That doesn't exist, Jacob.
I mean, Dragon. Unfortunately, it does, but we don't count. We don't count it.
We don't talk about it. Bring out the happy snacks.
What I'm saying is, like, we don't count it as part of the original run where it overstayed its welcome.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But yes, the original show, it came, it went, it was good.
Yeah.
And it still holds. And if you look beyond the obviously early 2000 CG, it still holds up.
Yeah.
Especially in the writing department.
Yeah.
So they make it to the cave of 10,000 monsters.
A little much.
Yep, that's a lot of monsters.
Yeah, it's a bit overkill.
Well, so they
9,998 monsters, though.
No.
Okay.
They probably rounded it up a little bit.
I mean, there's no way they're doing a head count of all those monsters.
So 10,000 here, give or take.
Yeah.
It's like where they find the sword Excaliferb.
Mm-hmm. Pulls it from the stone.
Yep. As we can see here, this image of Ferb pulling the sword out of the stone.
Well, I thought this was photoshopped. I didn't think it actually happened in the episode called Excaliferb.
Yes. Well, it was a choice between this or the Lady of the Puddle.
Question.
Yes.
What's going on with that wacky Candivere?
Like, she's actually... sorry, I'm going to back up, reverse it. And notice Aquatet saying, we love Hugh Neutron.
That we do.
Yes, we do. It's like, I don't... Dragon,
we love Hugh!
Dragon, do you trust anyone that dislikes Hugh Neutron?
Do I trust anyone who dislikes Hugh Neutron?
Yes.
No.
There you go. I don't trust anyone who dislikes Hugh Neutron either. How could you dislike Hugh Neutron?
There you go.
Well, I mean, except for that one time, like he made me experience the miracle of childbirth again and again and again.
Yeah, to be fair, every character in Hugh Neutron's had like that episode where it's like, that's really unseemly for that character. For example, The Christmas episode, Jimmy in the Christmas episode, I was so embarrassed during that because I was like, oh man, little Jimmy Neutron, surely we'll do the Christmas episode. And then I watched like, oh man, I forgot how much of a prick Jimmy is in that episode. The Carl, God, that's not good. That makes me look bad. it's for like glowing about it.
Yeah.
Then it's like, Hugh Neutron, we love him. He made this he violated this poor woman.
making her give birth over and over again.
Just for kicks.
Oh God.
And he's married.
Yep. That's like the one thing. That's like the one terrible thing he's ever done, though.
Now, do you think? Now, here's the real question. Okay, here's the real sick and wrong component. Okay.
Yeah.
With the miracle of birth, is he A, reversing it so she is born and reborn again and again? Is he going that far with it, or is it just taking at face value where this lady's a mother, and I'm gonna make her experience motherhood again and again and again? And again.
That's how I always interpreted it. Like he was whereas like she was like he somehow gone to the hospital room and made her give birth over and over again.
When I was a kid, I read it the first way, but they didn't realize how sick and twisted it was.
Well, I mean, I guess it could work either way, but I think my way ultimately makes more sense and probably what they were going.
Oh, it does. I'm just saying, it's like if you want to be less, I mean, which is more sick and wrong, you tell me.
Like, I mean, probably making him give birth over and over again.
Yeah, you're right. That's sadistic. That's bad.
I mean, look at how much in pain she was like. Yeah, she was like literally crying, dragons.
Yep.
Oh God. Anyway.
Not the fog!
Yeah. So Candevere was like accidentally got doused in a couple of Phineas and Ferb's elixirs and is
Emperor's New Groove style.
Yep, and is roaming the land looking for them. But we don't actually see her except for the fact that her voice is very distorted.
Yeah.
And that answers the question about Candevere. Thank you, Aquatat, for the diversion. I mean, it was half a diversion, half I really wanted to highlight. We all love Hugh Neutron.
We love Hugh.
Like, who doesn't love Hugh?
Yep.
Out of universe, anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, they make their way to the cave of 10,000 monsters, give or take. It's like, so Ferb pulls the sword, Excaliferb, out of
and he's getting a lot of Errol Flynn dialogue, a lot of Princess Bride, Carrie Always kind of stuff here, where he's like, this is the instrument of your demise.
And then the sword falls off.
Okay, the ends come off.
It's like, well, yeah, and the thing is, they actually tamed the 10,000 monsters, and the monsters are willing to fight Doof.
Yep, it's good plan B.
Yep. It's like, so yeah, it's like very cheaply made sword if the blade just falls off the hilt.
Yep.
So the sword, basically, the quest to find the sword ultimately ended up being pointless. They just had to get the monsters.
That's also why you don't put a sword in a stone.
Yep.
Just look at the damage it causes. Like, yes, it's all cool and like revealy, but it's like, look, now it's loose. It's ruined the hilt.
Yep.
You don't have a lightsaber in a stone for good reason.
Yeah. Think so. So Doofenshmirtz, or Malifishmertz rather, prepares to fight, claiming he's not afraid of anything. Except like unicorns, whales, squids, etc., etc.
What does he end up with? A uni-whale scorpion. Hit him with it.
A uni-whale Scorpio Pega Squidicorn girl.
This is great. So he turns around and sees, and you think he's gonna be screaming bloody murder, but it's like, it's more ridiculous than scary. It doesn't have like the cumulative effect.
Yep, it's not scary when it's all combined into one.
Yeah, it's a good joke.
It is, and also the fact that the ball on the end of his magic staff just like deflates like a balloon when he sees it.
Mm.
So yeah, Candace became this horrifying monster. I mean, more so than usual.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Oh, Kogi, I heard you say that. You're in trouble.
Or you could say, I am so busted.
You're so busted.
Oh yeah.
You're going down, Jacob. Down, down, down.
DOWN down. Yeah.
You know what Code Geass anime fans gonna do to you?
What?
He's gonna tell your mama.
Well, I'm 29 years old, so I don't think it'll have much effect.
She's gonna bust you. We better hurry up. We better end the podcast because she's gonna bust you.
Well, Dragon, like I said, I'm 29 years old and live on my own, so I don't think it's much of a thing to worry about.
Oh, I wouldn't underestimate her, Jacob. We
All
already
right.
saw what she did to your. We already saw what she did to your brother. You don't like.
No, she had nothing to do with my brother, Dragon.
Do we see him around the podcast? No. You know why?
He's my head because it's same dad, different mom, half brother.
Oh, I don't know. Well, no wonder you don't like him. Anyway, so
He's 10 years older than me.
he just gets less appealing the more I learn about this guy.
Yeah. All right.
Say, wow, you really want Dietrich Bader to be your half brother instead of this guy? Okay.
I mean, Dragon, if I had Dietrich Bader as my brother, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
Really, you would burden your brother and ride on his coattails all that while, Jacob? That's the
Oh
plan.
no! I mean, like I'd be hanging out with him or being a voice actor myself.
Mm.
I wouldn't have time to do these podcasts.
So,
I'd have a very different.
Jacob, we don't have the time. We don't have the time to talk about all the many ways you, Dietrich Bader, would be far superior to your current half brother. Let's just move on.
That's like awkward. Like, man, I've been turned into abomination. Can I go home? You're excused. Anyone else?
No, we're good.
Okay, get them. Always a good time. It's never a bad time to bring up the Emperor's New Groove.
No one lives forever. Ah.
Dragon, it's never a bad time to bring up the Emperor's New Groove, is it?
No, it's never a bad time to do that.
Exactly. Hey, I'm a llama again.
Wait.
I love that movie. Anyway, it's like so. An epic monster battle ensues, where Malifishmertz becomes this giant Hydra monster.
It's basically if Perry's kind of like kind of Godzilla, then Doomsday is Ghidorah.
Kinda, yeah. Except Parable can actually fly. Well, there was this one time Godzilla technically could fly, but it wasn't with wings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Dragon, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Where he just flew backwards with his atomic breath.
Okay, you gotta be honest though. Silly as that kind of was, that was kind of like a campy, cool kind of thing though that he could travel like that. Tell me that wasn't kind of cool.
Well, you know why it was cool, Dragon?
Why?
Because it was Godzilla.
Well, you're right. That's why.
Because
So it's the idea that he could travel like that. You know, it's like what if Goku could travel via, instead of the flying Nimbus, he just had a Kamehameha wave, just take from point A to point B. It's kind of cool.
Well, or you could throw a pillar.
Okay, you're right. That's even better. But you know what I mean.
I mean, can't he really just like do like the blink or whatever it's called and warp anywhere he wants?
Instant transmission.
Instant transmission.
Well, in Dragon Ball Z, yes. Dragon Ball, no. But fair point.
But yeah, he could just like throw a pillar towards his destination. So there's that.
The point being, there's a myriad of really interesting methods of travel between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. But that's neither here nor there. The point being, Godzilla doing that is like it's an absurd but more legit version of the Hulk jump, from the desert to the city,
Yeah. Still cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can do it. It's the Hulk.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, good. Like I said, it looks cool because it was done by Godzilla.
Yeah.
So the epic monster battle ensues. Like Candace gets turned into various different. Candavir gets turned into various different things, seemingly turning back to normal. And then, and Perry gets turned into this huge, giant bipedal dragon monster thing. Pretty awesome design. You gotta admit, like the monsters that we briefly see, they have pretty good designs too, if we don't even see them that much.
Yeah.
Pretty creative monster designs, not gonna lie. So. Including like a gargoyle that looks kind of like Goliath in a way. Then again, every big gargoyle kind of looks like Goliath. Anyway, It's like so like they get up and Perry seemingly knocks down Malifishmertz. Malifishmertz gets up again, and yada yada yada. It happens a couple times.
Narrator
Basically,
has no idea what he's talking about.
yeah, basically a parody of like the obviously these giant monster fights where monsters like he's dead, he's down, oh look he's down again, oh he's coming back up. It's like I'm fairly certain he's down this time. And then Carl like out of the on another mountain coming out of the sun. A new hero comes in. Carl the hero from the land of Internius. Only for Monogram to stop him.
You know what he says?
What is he? He's of course I know what he says, Dragon.
He says,
Dang it, Carl.
You ruined the story.
Like he wants Carl not to insert himself into the story.
Yeah. So let's see who's a Carl that's hammy enough to do that?
Like you mean Nodden? You mean Godzilla versus Kong, the director's cut? Yep, pretty much. It's like so, Dragon. Who would not insert themselves into a story here?
And
we know Weezer definitely would.
Yeah.
Carl would definitely insert himself.
I think Fredson might be humble enough not to.
Yep. What about Beaumont?
Yeah, well, yes, but I mean, if you look at Phantasm, he is like inserted into the story, though. So that's why I'm hesitating on Beaumont. It was my first pick, but it was like, I don't know. He's kind of inserted into that story, though.
Yep. Even though for the present tense of the story, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Fredrickson then.
Yeah, so who absolutely would, though? Who would pull a Carl here? Who would, like, I have to be in this story? So you say Carl Weezer.
Yes.
I would throw out, I think, Carlos.
Okay. Carlos.
Carlos.
Of course, if he was doing it, he'd add in more puns.
Actually, okay, the better choice, Carl Minion. Carl Minion absolutely would add himself in there as like the big like third act. Like, there he is, Poochie. There he is.
But if Carlos did it, he would obviously work in some kind of puns, like a fantastical story.
Yep.
Carlos. Yep. Anyway, so that's wrong. There we go. Sorry about that, folks.
Stop traumatizing the poor kids.
All right, I'll just delete it I'll just delete it then, so they don't have need for it anymore.
That's the thing. If Phineas like opened had eyes on his fingers, he looked just like Beetlejuice, just like that one scene from Beetlejuice.
So not from Pan's Labyrinth then.
Well, I mean, literally with the pointed head. Remember, because they had like the big pointed pterodactyl faces.
Yeah, I know, but also hands. Also, head for hands on eyes is definitely a staple of definitely something that happened in Pan's Labyrinth.
I know that's what. Yes, but again, I'm going for the triangle head. But yes, you're right, Jacob. Pan's Labyrinth did that really well.
Like Johnny Bravo Carl would probably end up in the story by accident.
Absolutely.
I say Johnny Bravo Carl because I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna try. Unfortunately, I don't want to butcher it. It's like so, but as it turns out, Carl was trying to improve the story, and it turns out the way the story ended was like they found this ended at peace with a peace treaty. What do you think of the fact they ended the story with this epic fantasy story with a peace treaty?
God.
Like, if both parties agree to the terms. No, what the heck? It actually wrote down the terms in the story itself.
Not even a peace treaty, a peace accord.
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
The Monogram is right to be upset.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be upset by that story too. Like, this epic fantasy story, and then like both parties agree to the terms, and it's like, what is this?
At least we get an epilogue.
Yep. As it turns out, they're enjoying the festival. Candace, as it turns out, Candavir, as it turns out, is mostly back to normal, except for the fact that she still breathes fire.
Well, to be fair, all women breathe fire, so it's.
Oh, get him!
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Dragon, remember, I'm just referencing earlier when I remember in the episode when in gaming the system or whatever, I was like, girls don't play games, Dragon. And you were like, get him!
You know what I'm referencing with "get him," don't you?
Yeah, Toy Story.
Good man. I was gonna sick him on for that one if you didn't get that one. But yeah.
I mean, that's the same reference.
No, yeah, I know.
It's like I like Phineas. Notice how he left out the I.
Yep.
Like, we like Phineas too. We don't want to look at him because he's terrifying. Because Phineas, anybody without eyes like that is terrifying.
Some of that wouldn't be cool though if one could breathe fire though. That's what I'm saying.
It would be. You'd have to have like like protected throat. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like Dragon thinks that all women breathe fire.
Let me put it this way: I think the cool women breathe fire.
Well, there you go. At least you saved it.
I'm saying, I'm not saying it's like a derogatory. I'm just saying that'd be awesome though if the women could breathe fire.
Well, it would be, but although it'd be kind of terrifying though.
It would. I mean, I want assured control there, but it'd be kind of neat.
It would be neat.
At the very least, they could do like the fire breather thing, like from Lilo and Stitch, safely on you.
You mean like the torch swallower?
Yeah, like the torch swallower.
Technically, the name is Fire.
Oh yeah, why did you say it like that, Jake? God.
I was blanking on the term. It's the job that David had.
Yes.
Does that sound better?
Yes. What did you say?
Fire eater, or the job that David had.
Yeah, fire eater is better. It's just the other way of phrase that might be problematic.
Yeah, I know, Dragon. It was more of a instant moment. Brain didn't have a filter kind of thing.
Okay, the point being, let's just forget about the whole the breathing fire comment. We're just gonna move on.
Well, yeah, but David is cool though.
Oh, we love David.
Oh yeah.
I mean, plus, he's got great hair, and then now he likes his butt. He's great.
I don't trust people that don't like David.
Yeah. Fancy hair, I should say. He's got fancy hair.
Fancy hair. As you notice, we also love Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, you gotta go for it. Yeah, actually, I saw the. Remember that thing I showed you? Did you still haven't watched that? Well, look, I don't want to shame there. I don't want to shame you. But did you watch the Phineas and Ferb food thing yet?
Do they have a Lilo and Stitch one?
Yes.
All right, you have to.
Now, to be fair, it's not all themed. It's sprinkled throughout. They had the cake from Lilo and Stitch.
What's the name of the show? I'll look it up now.
I think it's not Man versus Food, but I think People versus Food. I think is what it's called.
People versus Food. All right, there we go.
So they have and if you type in Disney or something, you'll see it's in the image. Do you see the cake from Lilo and Stitch and
the first one I saw is People versus Food. DreamWorks. There you go.
And there you go. And they have one that's
literally 11 hours ago.
There you go.
People versus Food. Let's see if they do have one for. What was it? What were you?
Well, let's see. If you type in People versus Food Disney, you'll see one of them is going to have Pixar food and the.
There's 11. They literally did 11 videos with Disney stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So you'll see the cake in the image. I think it's the cake and the ratatouille. It's either the cake and the ratatouille, or it's the cake and the Trinité al pesto. But I think it's the.
The one that has the first one I'm seeing that has ratatouille in it is Alice and Remy.
Okay, it's not that one. It's one. It's okay. So there's another one that has if you see an image with cake, that's the Lilo and Stitch one.
All right.
And, Woody's in the image. It's you have there's the cake and you see Woody. Because I think they have Pizza Planet in that episode. I think that's why.
All right.
They have pizza from Pizza Planet.
All right, I'll try and find it.
Trust me, they have it was like a reward. If you got to the end and you basically ate the lesson, basically you didn't give in the temptation at least the least amount of times, you were awarded the awesome looking chocolate cake from Lilo and Stitch, even with the cherry on top.
I think I need to find that episode.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll link it to you after this, or I'll send it to you. I have like a whole playlist of it. I'll send it to you afterwards.
It's like, so yeah, I found it.
Oh, you did?
No, not that, but the Man versus Food thing.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, okay. So point being,
It says Woody and Max on it.
that's it.
All right, that's the one that has the Lilo and Stitch.
I think it is, but regardless, I'll send you a link afterwards. All right, just
as long as Stitch didn't need it beforehand.
that they did talk about that, but no. Anyway,
Good. Like so Candovir danced with Jeremiah. Malifishmertz escaped, hoping to lay the groundwork for a sequel. And they never made a sequel. They never made a sequel to this episode.
That doesn't surprise me.
Who knows? Maybe they will in the revival.
Nah.
But honestly, I would like to see them visit this again. I do really enjoy this episode, and considering like all the new fantasy stuff that's popped up in the last few years, like this episode came out in 2012, so like and with all the stuff that's happened in the fantasy genre in the last 12 years, I think they might have some more stuff to mine.
Yep.
And so Carl finished just telling the story. Monogram wants to hear another story tomorrow, but can't because they have to work.
It's adorable. I love that.
It's a little too real, though, isn't it, Dragon?
Yeah.
It's like you can't because you have to work. Okay. Yep. As I mentioned, I really enjoy this episode. It is fun seeing how these characters are in different scenarios, and seeing them in a fantasy like setting is a lot of fun. And of course, some pretty interesting monster designs and all that. So anyway, we haven't gone to the last episode in the time shift weekend. That's coming up soon.
Oh.
Not next week soon, but within sometime this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, but not next week, unfortunately. So, any closing thoughts, Dragon, on this one?
No, I think we got it.
All right. Aquatad, Little Blue, Code Chaos. We had Claude here briefly. So thank you all for joining us this evening. And be sure to join us next time on the Recap-inator, where things get a little bit psychological. Good night, everybody.